शॉर्ट टर्म मेमोरी लॉस है तो छोटी छोटी बातें भूलते जाता हूँ. You have to remind me, okay?
Okay.
सच्ची में मैं बोल गया था इसलिए. Anyway, so we'll speak about strings and followed by what is an inner class. Why do we deal with it? Honestly speaking, inner classes का actual use interfaces के बाद पता चलता, but how, what are they? We will see today. Now, when it comes to strings, what is exactly is basically when you have to deal with characters and you wanted to deal with strings, more than one character words, that is to be considered as a string, which is a character array in the background or treated as a character array in the background. And Java deals with it as if it is an object. Now, why the specialty has been given to strings? Because Java is an internet-based programming language. Now, when you speak about, servlets or REST APIs, whatever you speak it as, all the requests that you are getting, am I clear? It takes this request as a string. So there is a method called get parameter. So this get parameter takes a string param name, returns the value of the parameter coming as a string. Why this is because we have to deal with something called a HTML, hyper text markup language. Okay, so anything and everything in internet is treated as text. That's the reason why any incoming thing from a socket, Java always treat it as a string. Because of this reason, the strings have more importance in Java. And so we have treated this as an object rather than taking it as a simple data type. It is been given a value as an object, just like wrapper class, and it has got many methods to deal with string operations. We'll see all of those operations one after another. Okay. Now, just to create interest in new people, am I clear? So we'll first speak about the API available, and then we will speak about a small assignment. Am I clear? Small assignment, just to create interest in you about strings, and then we'll go ahead and see about inner classes, and then wind up the session today. Now the class string is a public class, just like any other, and this is a final class. You cannot extend string. Okay, that's why it is a final class. Extends object and implements comparable of type string. Have you seen this style of class declaration previously? Yeah, we have seen it when we were dealing with wrappers. Remember, it is the same thing. Now, when it comes to string, we basically do with or deal with three different kind of methods. The first one is called as property based, and the second one is called as operational based string operations, and the third one is called as Boolean based, or what do you call this? क्या बोलते हैं उसे? Decision based. Okay, so instead of Boolean based, you can say decision based. These are the three different kind of methods we have in string class. So let's divide them. Why they are divided? Because whenever you deal with properties of strings, you go with this one. When you wanted to do string operations, you go with this set of methods. And when you wanted to make a decision based on a string, you go with these methods. That's how they are divided. All right, so strings can be created using a public string, which will take character array ch. You can create a string on that one. And you can also do this by assigning another string literal, okay, string, which is literal by assigning. These are the two ways of creating a string. The property based methods, because as I told you, this fellow is an array in the background. The very first important method you deal with is public. The return type is character array to char array. Basically, converts the current string into character array and returns with you. Similarly, you have public byte array, 2-byte array. You can also get a byte array based on a string. Now, why do we need byte array? If you wanted to pass this string in a stream, so streams basically supports byte array. So we can also get a byte array from the current string object. Also, in order to do a base 64 conversion and encryption decryption kind of stuff, we basically deal with the byte array stuff. That's why we have this method. Now that because they are into array style, what is the size of a string? If you wanted to know, you have public int length. Now please understand. Yeah, I I can't बोल रहा है. Can you please mute yourself? Okay. So this length is a property in array. Similarly, size is a method in collection. Because of these two, length is taken as a method in string. So for arrays, it is a property. For strings, this is a method. Because length in the way of property as well as method is being already used. So we use the same purpose thing with the new method called size in collections. Okay. Now let's speak about only this one. Now these are like property based methods like char, 2 char array, okay, and 2 byte array in length and all. Now you can also find what is the index of a specific character, public char index of char ch. Similarly, you have an overloaded method of this also. Okay, public int, sorry, right? This is int. This is int. It's not character. Public int index of. You can also supply a string multi chars. So you can supply multiple characters also. It will return you the index, starting index of this, word. So this is a overloaded method. We will see about overloading a bit later. And we have one more method, public char character add int index. Now, when you supply an index, it can return you what is the character available at that point of index. And similarly, we have something called as public int last index of. You can supply char ch. Now the same operation will be done in the reverse order. So from the backside of the string, reverse of the string, when this character is coming, that will come. In the same way, you have this method, public int last index of a particular string also. Okay, so these are the kind of property methods. Now, please understand, I cannot teach you the entire Java API. It's impossible. Java is very huge. It's an ocean. I'm trying to give you input on only certain things which are necessary for you to do the coding part. Okay. Now, the operational based methods, what are they? Operational based methods, they basically, yeah, one more thing is there, by the way. You have got public void trim. What this will do, it removes the you know, leading spaces on both left and right side of the string. Now, please understand, if there is a space in between the string, it won't be touched at all. That will be still considered as a character, white space character inside the string. And similarly, you have one more method, public string array is a return type split. So here you need to give, char delimiter. So here this is basically the given string is split into parts at given character, honestly speaking. Okay, so we'll see that some people call it as an operational method. Yes, you can take it as an operational method if you want, like instead of this control X, I will keep it over here. Now, apart from these methods, what are all the other operations that we can do on strings? They're like this. Please understand all the operational methods, they return a new string modified. This is the string are immutables. What do you mean by immutables? See, just like an array has a rule. You need to understand the three rules of array. I'm just defining over here. Okay, rule number one, array must be declared on a specific type, on a single type. Then two, before you use array must be initialized to some size so that JRE can allocate and block that memory. Okay, so remember this. Now, because JRE has to allocate and block that memory, the second point automatically deals with the third point. Due to the second point, JRE will automatically allocate default values of the type in all indexes of the array. Look at this. That means if you declare an array of some 2000 size, then let's say if it is of integer, then JRE, the moment when you initialize it with some size saying 2000, it automatically allocates 32 bits for each of the index, and then all the 2000 elements will be filled with the default value 0. Now that is the default thing. So because of this, please understand, because of this, now once you have fixed the size, the limitations start that once initialized, an array either can be increased nor can be decreased. That means they are fixed in terms of both type as well as size. Now that limitation applies to string also because this is a character array in the background. Please understand the size initialized for a string, it cannot be changed, either neither can be increased nor can be decreased. So whenever you do a modification to a string, it automatically creates a new string, okay, pointing the older string into to the garbage collector, GC. So when garbage collector get into the picture, he'll try to collect that string. Because of this, if you try to do more string operations in your program without knowing, then what happens is the heap memory issue will come. We recently got this issue in a PL project also. Okay, the heap out of memory, garbage collector will raise out of heap memory issue. That comes because if you are using so many string operations. So generate OTP API was the API which was doing these operations using a while loop or something. Now because of that, the server has generated garbage collectors out of heap memory issue. Well, so remember this point. So by default, strings will do that. Okay. Now that's the limitation. Because of this limitation, when what we were speaking, whenever you do any string operations, these string operation result in a new string. So all of these operational methods have the return type, have the return type. Now what is that one? Public string to uppercase. This actually converts the current string into uppercase. Public string to lowercase, converts the string into lowercase. Public string concat string s2 concats the second string to the current string and returns a new string. String, what do you call this? Replace character old with the character new. Well, you can also use public string replace all and a string. You can also supply pattern to be replaced. So all the characters which are belonging to that expression will be changed. So here it is expression pattern. And apart from that, you have public string replace concat to lower to upper split. A few more, I really don't remember. There are 2, 3 more methods are supposed to be there. Now, what are the decision-based methods apart from this? You have decision-based methods like public boolean equals. Somebody wants to say something. Compares the strings based on its hash code. Remember this, there is a method called hash code. It calls that, I'll write down over here, public int hash code. So it basically returns hash code for the string. This is an encrypted kind of value. So based on the hash code, two strings are compared with each other and it returns true or false. Now it returns like, current string hash code minus S2 hash code. So based on that, you can decide which is bigger, which is smaller, whether both are equal or not. and then public boolean equals ignore case string s2. So here, um, I'm sorry, compare is the method basically. Uh, checks the equality of strings based on case and spelling. So here it is, checks the equality of strings based on spelling only. It's not the case. And then public int compare to string s2. Now this is what I was speaking about. Compares based on the hash code. And you have public boolean starts with string s2. It returns if the current string starts with the other string or not. If it won't start, it simply returns false. If it starts with, it returns true. When do we use it? Let's say when we get a response, if we say if the response dot starts with error, then we can think that like there is no response, we have received an error. In such a situations, we can use it. And public boolean ends with, you can also supply string s2, it returns true or false based on whether a string is ending with a particular string or not, something like that. There are many other methods also. Okay, so these are all the common methods which we basically will do. Am I clear? So which will be working with as a part of the string. So I please go through the API of the string and then identify what are all the other methods are available. How do we make use of them and the stuff. ठीक है ना? Understood, right? So let's see if you wanted to deal with strings. Let's say, for example, what kind of operations that can be done using a string. I'm giving a hint what kind of operations we can do. Okay. Now here I'm trying to write this one mark slash mark. Now here it is. This mark effect less q.html. Well, what is this is all about, bro? Just well, this is called market. You all know that, right? You all know the market effect. Is this?
Yes, sir.
Give us 8 minutes, guys. Hello,
Yes,
hello.
Ram.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm audible, right? I'm unable to listen when you
Ye-
said yes. You know this
Yes, Ram.
market effect, right? Now, if I ask you, create the same kind of effect, create same kind of effect programmatically, what do you do? Can you do that? Question is pretty simple. Can you create marquee effect programmatically? If yes, how? Now I'm giving a hint. You people, acha, okay. Sahil, you have asked me what is the API stands for? Application Programming Interface. The to deliver some target or a requirement, if we are using a library, then that is called as an API. For instance, in your college, you have these two methods, right? Assign marks as well as print results. These two are called as APIs, application programming interfaces. So this is your application college, which the end user uses. Application to this faculty program. What is the interface using which you communicate? That is called as API. So you will be speaking to faculty using his behaviors, assign marks and print results. Similarly, you will be speaking to administrator using one of his behavior, register student. So these three, what you are looking at, the functionalities of these components are called as APIs. Now, in simple, API is nothing but a functionality we are giving to an end user so that he can call and then speak to our application. Okay, na? Understood, right? Clear? Right? So that's what is called as an API. Now, I'm giving a hint. This marquee effect can be achieved very simple by a string. So how do we do that? How do we do that? Let's say I'm saying class marquee test. So I'm creating a small object called marquee test, and this will have public, static, void, main, string, args. And then let's say we have a string. Let's say string message is equals to, so this is marquee effect using strings. Okay, this is, let's say, for example, what do you call this? My string. And here I wanted to show marquee effect using this string. So how do I do that? How do I do that? What you can do is, if you have observed this one, अरे ये किधर चला गया था वो? I think I have closed it, right? Voila. If you have observed, this is continuously happening. Is it stopping or it's going to an end and then again coming and then again rolling out, right? So this effect is continuously happening till you close this window. Can I say this is an infinite thing which is happening, whatever it is, it's an infinite thing which is happening the moment it goes to the last and it starts from here, correct? So this is an infinite thing which is happening. Now for simply, I would like to say here, we need an infinite loop, let's say for like this. Now, what are we supposed to do here in order to achieve the mark? Well, kuch nahi karna yaar. You know, when you observe this string is coming from right to this left, this character, you can see it is disappearing, 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 disappearing. And slowly the same character coming over here from here, it will start appearing. That means in this for loop, you simply have to take out this character and add it as a tail to the current string. Well, that actually continuously happening will result in your Marquee effect. So what are we supposed to do here? It is so simple. So क्या करना है? Char ch, you have a character and then come down here. Ch is equals to message dot character at the position of 0. I always take the first character and then I have to tail it. Message is equals to message dot, or I could say message plus ch. Now I have concatenated the ch to the current message. And then what? Simple. Kuch nahi karne ka hai. That's it. All you have to do is only this much. Now, before I do this operation, I just wanted to print whatever the message and then go ahead and do this operation. I'll simply say system dot out dot print ln of this particular message. Now I cannot do a single line print because mine is a console application. It's not a web app where I can show the effect in a single line, right? So this is a web application. So I'm printing line by line. Now after printing the message, I'll take out the first character and then I add it to the last. And again, I'll do that, I'll do that, I'll do that, I'll do that. That's all. चलो ठीक है भैया कंट्रोल एस क्या नाम है इसका मार्क्यू टेस्ट let's come down here java c marquee test.java and then java marquee test. Actually, it is happening. The problem is we are unable to see that. Okay, the effect is happening, but we are unable to see that. Chalo, what is happening? So what is that we are doing is we are taking the character and then adding to the last point, but we have forgot to remove it from the first point. You see that you are taking the character and you are adding, but you are not removing it, right? So there is one more method I would like to show here. So what is that is public string substring. So here you need to supply int starting index. And there is one more overloaded version of this public string substring. You can supply int starting index and int and index. Now, if you supply starting index and ending index, what it will do, it will take out all the characters from the start index to end index, including excluding them, and then give it to you. But if you supply only the starting index, it exclude this index from this year, from this point, whatever the remaining characters till the end of the string, it will take and then return you. That is the purpose of substring. So now, if you see my program, where is this? I'm sorry, here only. If you see my program, I have read the character to CH and I'm adding it to the tail. Now, am I removing the character from the message? No, I am not. So I am supposed to say message is equals to message dot substring from the index 0, because whatever is there in the 0th index, I have already added it to the last one. Okay, now, but the speed at the kind of pace the effect is happening, as a human, I am unable to see that. So all I can do is I'll simply say try and catch. And then here I'll say thread dot current thread dot sleep for a period of 200 milliseconds. Now here I am passing the main thread for 200 milliseconds to see this effect. OK, so this is what I'm doing. The current thread what I'm running, I'm trying to make it or force it to go to sleep for 200 milliseconds, and then it will awake and again start working. So let us see what happens if I recompile this program and run the program. Well. Still not happening.
Can you give one value to the substring method
Which
that we
value?
have? One,
You
one.
mean to say one? Huh? Acha, OK. Right. Understood your point. So you can see once this crosses the screen, you will start seeing that effect. It's just for an example, okay? But you know, I just wanted to show you what is that you can achieve using string. You can do anything and everything. There are so many operations available in such a way you can do all these operations. Am I clear? So strings are most widely used whenever you wanted to check passwords, whenever you wanted to pass data, whenever you wanted to validate data, whenever you wanted to insert or update kind of stuffs are doing with JDBC. Strings are the most useful things that you are going to be dealing with. Understood? So go through the API available for strings, like you can search for strings API and you will be taken to the Oracle's official website to see all the help available on strings. So try to get whatever much, the possible that you can get on strings. Will you? Okay.
Ram,
So yeah,
does this marquee effect can be achieved by Q?
क्या हुआ?
This the effect it shows marquee effect.
Hmm, hmm.
इसे हम Q
This
से
one.
यूज कर सकते हैं, मतलब Q से इसको हम बनवा सकते हैं.
Try करो. कर सकते हो, लेकिन क्यों इतना कॉम्प्लेक्स करना? 2 लाइन में हो जाने वाले को फिर क्यू को क्यों पकड़ के लाना बीच में? See, I mean, ऐसा नहीं है कि this can be achieved only by strings. पॉइंट वो नहीं है. पॉइंट ये है कि स्ट्रिंग से क्या क्या कर सकते हो बोल के दिखा रहा था. बाय द वे, दिस इज नॉट माय ओन इन्वेंशन. दिस वाज वन ऑफ द एग्जांपल इन जावा complete reference book. Okay, but this example was shown in AWT. When you are dealing with applets and AWT, there is a method called drawString. There is a method called drawString. DrawString method will draw the string on the same place. You have to provide the string str, x portion, y portion, and width and height. मतलब कितना दिखना बोल के. So in that particular portion with this width and height, basically it will start drawing the string again and again. So here you actually will see the marquee effect happening within the same, this one. Let's say we generally give the x portion as let's say 100 pixels starting from the corner of the system, 100 starting from the corner of the system. Width, we will give some 800 pixel, and height, we will give some, let us say 50 pixel. So here you actually will see the effect look like exactly marquee. Okay. So this example I have seen in the year of 96, 97. So I love this very much. Like basically whenever I take a string session, I generally take this example and then explain.
Which is
Clear?
more optimized, Ram? The one you showed or the drawstring?
ऐसा नहीं बोल सकते. ड्राफ्टिंग इज से देखो वो ये वो भी यही यूज करते हैं, स्ट्रिंग्स को ही यूज करते हैं इन दैट प्रोग्राम. द टेक्स्ट बुक वाज रिटन बाय पेट्रिक नॉर्टन, वन ऑफ द क्रिएटर्स ऑफ जावा. Okay, the author of that original, now Herbert Skill as someone is managing that one, who is a co-author of that book at that point of time. The actual author of that original Java Complete Reference 1.0 was Patrick Norton. He is one of the creators of Java. So he suggested this example. तो अभी सोचो कि optimized है कि नहीं, ये सारा कुछ, right?
Right, right.
इतना परफॉर्मेंस ट्यूनिंग पे बात नहीं करेंगे अभी तो. दिस इज समथिंग लाइक वी जस्ट वांटेड टू सी व्हाट काइंड ऑफ ऑपरेशंस दैट वी कैन डू यूजिंग स्ट्रिंग्स. ठीक है, लेकिन रियल टाइम में ऐसा वाला यूसेज नहीं करेंगे स्ट्रिंग्स का, दूसरा रहेंगे. जैसे कि मैंने बोला था, लाइक नो चेकिंग यूजर नेम एंड पासवर्ड, वैलिडेटिंग डेटा, दैट इज द प्लेस वेयर वी यूज स्ट्रिंग्स मोर. ठीक
Okay.
है, ये मैं पास करूंगा आप लोगों को, ये वाला जो भी है. Now, coming to inner classes, inner classes are basically a class within a class. Let's say I have a class called outer SU. Now, you actually can declare variables, constructors, setters, methods, and yes, of course, PSVM, public static void main. Apart from all of this, yeah, we have declared about static blocks also we have seen, right? So apart from all of that you are seeing over here, what is that you can have inside is you can have another class also if you want, because class is also one of the type what Java supports, class inner, right? Like this, yes, you can. And you know that a member of the class, any of this can be static. So because of this, if you wanted to write a static class, you can do this non-static as well as static. So two different kind of inner classes you can write for a normal class. Now, how do you access them? Let's see. Let's say I have a class called inner class test. Here, I would like to have my public static void main string args. So here I wanted to add. Now let me remove all of this stuff and then concentrate on only this inner classes part. So within this inner class, assume I have a method. Let's say public void inner class method. And here I would say system dot out dot println. This is a method of inner class. And so as the same method, I would like to have control C. Now here also I would like to say this is a method of static inner class. Okay. Two classes and two methods are there, assuming. But yeah. Now, how do I, please understand, apart from others, can I have variables inside a class? Yes, yes, you can. Anything that you write as a part of the class, you can write for inner classes also. Now, how do you access them? Now, see this one. You know that any static member of the class can be called with the class name dot member name, and any non-static members can be called with object dot member. So if you create outer a outer class is equals to new outer. Now using this Mr. Outer, how do you access both of these classes? Look at this. Here you can say, yeah, you cursor. Huh. Any member of the class, please understand if it is a class, can be identified or can be pointed by the parent class or outer class dot inner class. Inner is equals to, this is the class name, but you cannot use your class name like this. So here you can say object name. Okay, I am writing outer obj. इसका नाम Mr. Outer Object or new inner. So if you wanted to create a new memory of this fellow, this can happen only with the object link of the outer. Now the same way here you can say inner dot inner class method. Very fine. How about I call the static? Static is simple. The class name dot member name. So all you have to do is outer dot static inner class is equals to again outer dot static inner. That's all. It is pretty simple compared to this one. Accessing the static class is straightforward. So here you can say static inner dot inner class method, and then this will go ahead and then access the inner class. Let's see, how or what will be the output of this. Control S. I could say inner class Java, and I would like to compile it. Sorry. क्या बोल रही है? अच्छा, ये I forgot to give a new keyword. My mistake. Okay. So when you create a memory of an instance, you should supply the new keyword. Well, take it. Now you wanted to see how this is structured. Java P. So you could see class outer. And how about inner? Now inner is not there. What if you wanted to say, now you can see, look at this. Look at the class, how he is identified, outer dollar inner. That's the reason why basically if I take a Java session to Ekdam fresher who does not have any idea, we will also speak about naming conventions of Java, rules of writing a class name or a variable name. We will never suggest to use a dollar symbol as a part of the class name. That is because dollar symbol is being taken as a concatenation character between outer class and inner class. You can see final outer, this $0, outer dollar inner. This is what the constructor which is been given. That is how it is been. Okay. Similarly, if you say Java P outer dot static inner, this is how he will be. Okay. So you please remember these points. Okay. Please remember these points. Now, if I run this Java inner class test. So the methods are called, it simply prints this is a method of inner class and this is a method of static inner class. Okay, so why these inner classes are there in Java? Let us say there is an interface. Okay, please try to understand. There is an interface. Let's say my interface, and this my interface defines a method. Let's say public void say hello. Now, if this public void say hello has to be implemented by a class outer, you can say implements a hello. Now this say hello, अरे यार क्या करूँ मैंने? My interface. Now you will be forced to implement this say hello. Now you have written it over here in the outer, but you yourself know three different ways of implementing this say hello. And then you can write as many inner classes as possible, providing implementation of this say hello. That is the main purpose of the inner classes. OK. Well, you wanted to write the same method again and again in the same class, which includes the same syntax or a same parameter set, same signature. Then you go for inner classes and provide any number of implementations for it. The best way to achieve polymorphism. OK. More than more than that. OK. The same method can be implemented by all of this. We will see this. We will actually see this when we get into interfaces. With an example, we will see this one. OK. Now, for now, you understand this. That's the purpose of interclasses, and this is how they are supposed to be dealt with. So when you have an inner class, he can be instantiated. Now, what if inner class, outer class have so many other class members? Well, it is normal. Where you call any other class, you call outer and then access them. Now, apart from the outer class, if you are interested to call the inner classes also and their members also, this is how you can actually call. Let's say here I have. Can I write this method here? My question is simple. Can I write this method here? Instead of saying inner class method, I'm saying my method. OK, Control C, Control V, Control V, and Control V, and Control V. And here I am saying outer obj dot my method. So here I'm trying to call this my method using all the three objects. Now here it is saying this is a method of Control S. Let me see if my compiler allows or not. Out. Okay, इसका नाम है outer obj. Control S. Java is allowing me. That means I can write that method in the outer class also. And the same method can be written in both of the inner classes. That means I can provide three different variants of this method. Now, if I try to run that, actually we'll see three different outputs. Hope you understand. Guys, you understand this, right?
Yes,
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 sir.
Ram.
Yes, Ram.
Yes, Ram.
Yes,
ठीक है ना?
Ram.
तो ये से यूज करते इनर क्लासेस का बहुत ही फायदा है. You have a method and you only knows multiple implementation versions of that method and you wanted to provide it and you are not interested in providing all different classes. You are happy to do your implementation in this way. Clear? Okay, sometimes we would be doing anonymous inner classes. We will come to a thread example where we speak about deadlock and wait notify policy, a check bounce kind of example. At that point of time, I will show you how do you write with the anonymous inner classes. ठीक है ना? So that's it. इतना ही बोलना था तुम लोगों को, ज्यादा नहीं आजकल. Basically, I thought of taking you through strings, arrays, and in classes for today. So from Monday onwards, we will jump into OOPS concepts, learning each and every point with the live example. Okay, so inheritance के लिए first of all, I'll try to take you through a छोटा example पहला to let you understand the different types of interface in inheritance, and then we actually get into a real-time example. Let us say HRMS. You are getting onboarded by Manasa, right? So what is the HRMS? If I have to develop a software of HRMS, how do I think? How do I develop it? And then how do we apply OOPS concepts into that HRMS? All that stuff we will be learning in the next week. So as per to the schedule, where am I? Is desktop. हमारा चित्कारा batch का. This is where we were. We are missing this one only. Working with arrays. Actually thought of taking this, but I'll add this. I will try to add this to your collections. Okay. So we'll start working with these OOPS concepts and other stuff from Monday onwards. Okay. So why I am taking only less sessions to you people these 3 days is we are expecting few more members to join Monday, Tuesday and all. I don't know whether they join, but like there is an expectation. So if they join, I cannot repeat so much of stuff for them again. So I have taken less to you people. And anyway, next week you are starting, right? Next weekend.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
have consulted this girl for you people. Okay, so she has given numbers. ये तेलुगु girl है तो मैंने बोला like from Punjab there are 46 members to Hyderabad, so they need hostel. So like you know ये बच्चे हैं ना इनका बाबाई का मतलब चाचा, ठीक है? तेलुगु में बाबाई का मतलब चाचा, इनका चाचा का हॉस्टल से दो हॉस्टल से एक जेंट्स का और एक लेडीज का, तो मैं ये भी वहीं पे रहती है. ओके, सो आई आस्क्ड हर, शी हैज गिवन नंबर्स हियर. This can help you. You can contact them before you come if you wanted to book. And this guy, he replied that 9121. They have recently built a new block. Okay, new block मतलब एक फ्लोर बनाया बोलते हैं नया रूम से. Whoever comes, you are the people who will do that inauguration kind of thing. Okay. तो फूड वगैरह देख लो, अगर अच्छा लगा तो कंटिन्यू हो जाओ, नहीं तो पहले इमिडिएटली ज्वाइन हो जाओ पहले पहले तो, फिर बाद में यू कैन सर्च फॉर अदर ऑप्शंस आल्सो. तो ये नंबर्स मैं आपको दे देता हूँ यहाँ पे हमारा इसमें. मेरा नाम है सुब्बा रेड्डी. ओके, एंड देन द अदर पर्सन, इनका नाम है मल्लिकार्जुना रेड्डी. आई स्पोक टू हिम पर्सनली. मैंने पूछा कि बच्चे लोग वहां से इतनी दूर से आ रहे, आपके पास कैसे रहता है, खाना क्या है, सारा कुछ. इस सेड कि ही हैज गॉट, they will provide breakfast and then by the time you start to the office they will also make your lunch will also be ready. You can pack your boxes and come to your office, and night time they will supply not in kind of style rotis and other stuff. तो लंच के टाइम पे जनरली वो चावल रहता है मेरे ख्याल से. तो अब पता नहीं तुम लोगों को कितना आदत है चावल खाने का या कितना आदत है रोटी खाने का. लेकिन मैंने पूछा तो उन्होंने बोला कि नाइट टाइम में सब रोटी वगैरह मिलता है. लंच के टाइम पे जनरली वो बहुत टाइम कंजम्पशन प्रोसेस है. रोटी बनाना है बोले तो सुबह 7 बजे 8 बजे के पहले. सो दे जनरली चावल पकाते, राइट. उसका करी रहता, कर्ड लाइक दाल रहता, कर्ड गिट सब कुछ रहता. तो आपको जो पैक करना है पैक कर सकते हो, आ सकते हो. Well, these are the numbers. It's something like known hostels. You can say it as like one of your colleague, उनका uncle है ये लड़की का. You can also ping her if you have any doubts or kind of thing. Okay, you can search Sudha Gangred, you will get her. ज्यादा मत सताओ सब लोग फोन करके, कोई एक ओनरशिप लेके उनसे बात करो. आई डोंट थिंक शी कैन बी गुड एट स्पीकिंग इन हिंदी आल्सो. तेलुगु की लड़की है वो, यहाँ पे आंध्रा की लड़की है. But you can speak to these hostel owners, probably they might be knowing Hindi. ठीक है ना?
Okay.
चलो बढ़िया. तो
Thank
विल स्टॉप फॉर टुडे. ये मेरे को फिर से और एक सेशन है तुम्हारा ओल्ड बैच का. आई हैव रिक्वेस्टेड देम टू कनेक्ट एट 3 PM. You could actually see they have started this. So I will stop this and then join this batch. I need to take 1 more hour over here. I'll catch you back on Monday, 10 o'clock as usual. Okay?
you.
10 AM.
Sir, what about
Hmm.
what about accommodation?
वही तो ना, वो चर्चा चल रही है. वो आई विल कंफर्म यू. आई विल कंफर्म यू ऑन दैट वन. मुझे भी अभी बराबर इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं मिला. People are discussing on that one. Once I get confirmation, I'll let you know. For now, what is